She's lost.
Lost her husband.
Lost her way.
Found the darker way.
The road that leads into the funnel.
Lost her own.
Found the whistler from the stars.
Eater of dimensions.
The blind piper.
Hello everyone and welcome to another video by Centipede Geek. Today I'm going to talk about the FX original television series by the name of The Americans. I'm going to discuss my thoughts and opinions upon episode 2 titled The Clock. And without any further ado, let's go ahead and get to it, shall we? So pretty much in this episode it all revolves around a clock. Pretty much with the Russian spies, the Russian spies that disguise themselves as Americans, what the Russian spies want to do is they want to put a listening device into this clock that is in the Secretary of State's house or building that they live in, and they want to listen in to see if the Americans know that the Russians have nuclear bombs or nuclear devices. So nukes, pretty much. That's pretty much the gist. So what they end up doing is they end up poisoning this man by using this little thing that pops up out of a black umbrella. And that was a really cool scene, by the way. I love that scene. I love when Keri Russell is carrying that umbrella towards the guy, and acts like she trips, but ends up hitting, his ankle and poisons him. That was a great scene, by the way. Anyways, they end up going. Matthew Rye's character and Keri Russell characters, both the couple of the Russian spies, they end up going into the guy's house. They threaten the mother, saying, if you don't, the maid that works at the Secretary of State's house says, hey, if you don't go into this place, steal this clock, we will not give your son the antidote that he needs to survive. They pretty much tell you, hey, you have 3 days to get this clock. If you do not do so, your son's going to die, and we will not give you the antidote he needs to survive. Well, a dramatic amount of events end up happening, and by the middle way of the episode, she ends up actually telling her brother, the maid ends up telling her brother, hey, these people, she doesn't know if they're Russian spies, of course. She goes, hey, these people came into my house threatening me, and all this kind of thing. Well, the brother actually ends up getting his arm broken. Another great scene in The Americans by Matthew Rye's character, the man Russian spy. So anyways, he breaks his arm saying, if you tell anybody else, I will not give you the antidote. Well, by the end of the episode, she pretty much decides that she is not, I repeat, not going to put the clock back because she doesn't know exactly what they're going to do. But finally, in order to convince her, I'm pretty much telling you all the plot points. I just kind of want to give you guys a rundown of the episode. So anyways, by the end of the episode, Matthew Rye's character ends up sticking a pillow and suffocating the son. And finally, before like 10 seconds before he's about to die, she says, okay, I'll put the clock back on the desk, just to save my son, just give my son the antidote. So he ends up taking the thing off, and, the son ends up getting the antidote. All goes well, and we find out at the end of the episode, once the listening device is in the clock, that the Americans do know, I repeat, do now know, in fact, that the Russians do have nuclear devices or nuclear bombs, or as we know them as nukes. So that was pretty much the gist of the FX original television series by the name of The Americans, episode 2, titled The Clock. I just want to say that tonight's episode was just downright amazing. We had a few other kind of minor things happen with the FBI agent's character. He was kind of becoming, it seemed like he might have been a little suspicious. He got this Russian, I believe it's called a caviar or whatever it is, or a caviar, excuse me. He has this Russian caviar, and he asks the Russian spy, he's like, hey, have you ever tried this? And he's like, no. He's like, I think I tried it once at like this tourist convention. And it seems like he may have been a little suspicious there, but I don't think he was real suspicious. But he still seems a little suspicious of the two Russian spies. We also had the mother's character, who thinks that her daughter is a little delicate. You know, she's afraid that one day they're both going to get found out, and they're both going to get taken away from their children, and the children are going to be relocated elsewhere. And she believes that the son, I forget his name, but they believe that the son will be okay. They think that the son can take care of himself because they think, I guess, he's manly enough or whatever. But they think the daughter is kind of delicate, and they don't think the daughter could take care of herself. That's pretty much all the gist that happened in the FX original television series by the name of The Americans for episode 2, titled The Clock. I just want to say that tonight's episode was downright amazing. It is definitely just as good as the pilot, if not better. I still think the pilot is a tad better, but I did really enjoy episode 2, titled The Clock, of the TV series titled The Americans. Just a solid episode. Let me tell you some of my favorite scenes about the episode. I really enjoyed the sequence, like I said, with the umbrella. There was also another fight sequence where, like I said, the maid's brother came in, and they had, before he broke his arm, they kind of had like this big showdown scene where, you know, he picked him up, threw him to the ground. He picked up like this tray and started blocking the maid's brother's punches. That was a really nice sequence. But then it kind of, you know, 10-15 seconds later, he was on the ground with a broken arm. Another great fight sequence. Another great sequence was when the FBI agent and the Russian spy, Matthew Rice character, were eating the Russian caviar. You could see like the both kind of sinister look that they both had on their facial expressions, and I just really enjoyed that, you know, the whole, you know, awkwardness about the scene, you know, that he doesn't know he's a Russian spy, and the other, you know, he has kind of a theory that he might be, and then the Russian spy knowing full well that he's an FBI agent, and them not really doing anything about the other character. I love that awkwardness about the series, and overall just really good drama. Performance-wise, I'm really falling in love with the Matthew Rice character and his performance in the show. I really think that he's probably, if not, my favorite thing about the show titled The Americans on FX, original television series. I really enjoy Matthew Rice's character. Just every time he delivers a line, anytime he says something, anytime he just makes a certain facial expression, or it seems like he's really on par, it seems like he's on cue every time he delivers a line, and overall, just great stuff. If I had to pick a second favorite performance, it would definitely have to be Kerry Russell. She's really good in the show. She's, you know, you can tell that she's willing to do anything. She doesn't care if she's taken away from her family. She is willing to do anything to stick with her Russian homeland. While the other hand, Matthew Rice's character is not. He wants to stay in America. Like I said in my pilot review, I don't mean to repeat myself, but Matthew Rice's character wants to stay in America. He likes the lifestyle. He thinks, you know, he doesn't think being a Russian spy is worth, you know, his life, and he overall just wants to stop because he's sick of all the drama that comes with being a Russian spy. And if I had to pick a third performance, I really enjoy, I don't know the actor's name, but the FBI agent's character. I really like him. There was a scene where where the guy that he got the Russian caviar from, he stuck like this speaker, like I don't know what it was, but he ripped off like the front of a speaker and he stuck it in the guy's mouth, and he said, you know, hey, you know, I know what you're trying to do. And that, you know, kind of like an interrogation sort of scene. And I really enjoyed that sequence. Overall, another solid episode in The Americans, episode 2, titled The Clock. I really enjoyed it. Last week had about a little over 3 million viewers, so The Americans on FX seems to be getting in a decent amount of viewers. So I really hope the show does not get canceled, and I hope that it keeps going on, because it seems like it could be a really cool series. It's got, you know, I'm not normally into political dramas and stuff like that, but this series is so interesting where it is getting me into those sort of series. It makes you know where you don't have to be, you know, relevant, you don't have to know a lot about history, but it lets you know just enough so you can be into political drama. So I really like that about it. Like I said, Matthew Rice, Kerry Russell, and the FBI agent's character. Definitely my 3 favorite performances. Great action, great drama. Overall, it equals up to just a great series and another great episode. Next week's episode is titled Episode 3, and it's called Gregory. And it looks like next week's episode is going to revolve somewhat around their daughter. It looks like, you know, they're sitting in a restaurant, and it looks like some person is eyeing down the daughter. I think the daughter's name is Paige in the series. Forgive me if I'm wrong. But anyways, like I said, it comes on every every Wednesday nights on the channel FX, for those of you who have Dish and Satellite and DirecTV and all that. every Wednesday night at 9 o'clock Central, and then I guess 10 o'clock for everyone else. Like I said, episode 3 will be titled Gregory. And anyways, that's my review of The Americans episode 2 titled The Clock. Anyways, once again, thanks for watching. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe on the page below, and I will see you guys later with more episodic reviews by Centipede Geek.